off the line. The Jetta of Arnold Lambert comes off of the line and will lead towards a turn 1 there. We have Tischendorf, Toscano, Dugmore, Lewis, Appelgrein in the BMW in that section. A bit of a lock-up there. Looks like it from the outside of turn 1.
Right, so the Supercars are busy working their way through the kink and into Interceptor. And it is Glenn Phillips that sits out there in P1 with Andrew Moffat in second. Rico Barlow is in that third position in the 81 car as they work their way up the Tigerberg Straight towards Saddle Sweep. The double right-hander, that is turn number 4. Down the back main they go. And it's still Phillips up front with Moffat second. Barlow sits out there in third. And then behind him, you've got the 31 car in there that is flying down the back straight. And that is, we'll pick up the name of that driver now as they head into turn 5 into Pertamina Fostron.
Well, just looking at the fine cars, Frankie, they'll be coming onto the back straight now through Saddle Sweep. And the CLI Jetta of Arnold Lambert goes down the back straight at the present moment. Then it's going to be the 44 of Dave Alexander. That's the Morgan plus 8 that he currently is in. He's under pressure from Robert Toscano, who will look onto the inside for turn 5 Pertamina Fastron, but won't make a move. He's got the E36 BMW behind him, that bright green one of course, Gunther Appelgrein. That's all battling it out for second in class.
The 31 car, that is a Carl Halleck as they work their way into turn number 2 into a Castrol corner, and he's got his nose ahead there of Rico Barlow. That's the first 4 cars working their way through the kink and towards Interceptor, but there's a lovely fight that's coming out of Interceptor now. We'll get to that one, Byron, as the fine cars work their way out of turn 1.
Oh, well, Robert Toscano goes wide in turn 1 and has Gunther Appelgrein come right through. Gunther Appelgrein will be up into third position now and in pursuit of Alexander's Morgan ahead of them. Alexander still keeping into turn 2 Castrol corner. He's keeping that Jetta of Arnold Lambert ahead of him. But look at the leaps and bounds that BMW chews into the Morgan as they go onto the kink now. Down the back straight, Frankie, I see the Supercars are coming into turn 5.
Yeah, they're coming down into turn 5 into Fostra now. That Kaltron Supercars working their way out of turn 5, out of Fostron corner. And it's all about Glenn Phillips that makes his way towards the City of Cape Town Bridge with Andrew Moffat in second. Been hassled here by Carl Halleck, followed there by Rico Barlow. But Halleck looks up on the inside. Carl Halleck looks up on the inside of Andrew Moffat and makes the move. No, he does not make the move stick coming out of turn 1.
Well, going down the back straight towards turn 5, Pertamina Fastron, we have there the BMW of Gunther Appelgrein almost on the inside of that Morgan of Dave Alexander. He comes right close up there, and look at how they're closing up to Arnold Lambert, who's not sprinting away at the moment. Arnold Lambert comes through the kink now, and they run towards the line underneath the City of Cape Town Bridge and start another lap of the race over here. Just taking a look at the times over here as they do cross the line. A 1:38 for Dave Alexander, 1:37 for Gunther Appelgrein. He's much quicker than the 2 ahead of him as Robert Toscano and Natasha Tischendorf come through the picture into turn 1.
But going into turn number 3, there's a fight a bit further down in the Supercars, and this is a lovely one as they work their way up the Tigerberg Straight towards turn number 4. That's the cars you see in view there, and that is Alistair Brown, Yassine Damon and Stefan Norkier that's involved in that fight. Down the back main they go. That's for the mid-pack in the Supercars as they head down the back straight towards turn 5 Fostron corner.
Turn 3 now for the fine cars. The blue Jetta makes its way through Arnold Lambert, but behind him, that's the big battle to watch at the moment. Dave Alexander in the British Racing Green Morgan, and then the bright green BMW right behind him of Gunther Appelgrein, a man who has raced in Gymkhanas, who's been racing in fine cars for quite a while now. All of them have, as a matter of fact, come through Saddle Sweep onto that back straight. Will he be able to make a move now down towards turn 5, Pertamina Fastron? It's anybody's guess now. I don't think he's close enough to be exact, but well, we'll see what he does towards turn 5, Pertamina.
The leaders of Supercars are working their way out of turn 2, out of Castrol corner, through the kink and towards Interceptor they go, and it's Glenn Phillips followed there by Andrew Moffat, Carl Halleck, and what has happened to Rico Barlow? We have lost Rico Barlow. That group of supercars working up the Tigerberg straight towards turn 4. They've picked up the back markers of the fine car category as they head out of turn 4 sidle sweep.
Yeah, the guy's going to be coming through fairly shortly over here. Natasha Tischendorf, she's 5th and last in that class at the moment. No Chris Champion, no Jaco Oosthuizen. Of course, Jaco Oosthuizen would have been in the Toyota Conquest, but going down to turn 2 now, Castrol corner. And there goes Arnold Lambert one more time, and Gunther Appelgren goes onto the inside of the Morgan in turn 2, Castrol corner, and will exit that little section through the kink as he does go, and then towards turn 3.
Yeah, that was the fine cars that Byron was talking about, but across the line, as you can see on your screen now, is the leading supercars heading into turn number 1. As they work their way out of turn 1, it's Glenn Phillips from Andrew Moffat from Carl Halleck. That's 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Then it's a couple of fine cars. Then we see coming through there is Yassine Damon. He's got his nose ahead of Alistair Brown and Stefan Norkia, followed by Craig Hume, as the leading fine cars are heading into Fostron corner. And
Gunther Appelgren in 2nd position in their bright green BMW is closing in leaps and bounds to the sky blue Jetta CLI, the 2nd generation Jetta of Arnold Lambert. Yeah, they come down the straight now. They're leaving the Morgan behind, who was in 2nd for a while. That's Dave Alexander down the straight as they go now towards turn 1 underneath the city of Cape Town, Castrol and Wingfield Motors Bridge into turn 1 on the brakes, but not going to be close enough yet for Appelgren to make any sort of inroads.
The leading supercars are heading into turn 5 into Pertamina Fostron, and that is Glenn Phillips from Andrew Moffat from Carl Halleck. They literally nose to tail as they work their way out of Fostron corner. Here they come towards us under the Wingfield Motors, Castrol and City of Cape Town Bridge. It is Phillips from Moffat from Halleck, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, and Halleck is not far behind Moffat as they storm down into turn 1 into holes.
Turn 3 now, and we have the battle for the lead in the Bejo Trustees fine cars. And yeah, a stab is going to be made into turn 4 now. Your watch coming onto the inside into the Jetta. It's going to be Gunther Appelgren. Not going to make any sort of a move over there. The double apex right-hander at Saddle sweep now. And then I'll open up onto the gas, onto the straight over here now. And then rocket it down towards turn 5. And it looks like the legs at the moment are on the side of Arnold Lambert, who's leading the class at the moment towards turn 5. Pertamina Fostron they'll go. When they cross the line, Frankie, 3 laps left to go in this race.
There will be 3 laps left. Yes, I'm trying to pick up the supercars. They're making their way out of turn 4. They're coming out of Saddle sweep, heading down the back straight. And that is Phillips from Moffat, from Halleck. Down the back straight they race towards turn 5 into Fostron corner they go. That is the overall leader and class leader. That is Glenn Phillips. That's working his way out of Fostron corner, followed there by Andrew Moffat and Carl Halleck. And then there's a massive gap before we see Yassine Damon go down the back straight towards turn 5 as the leaders come around to start their penultimate lap. And the quickest man out there is Glenn Phillips with a 126.975.
I just want to go to turn 2 now as well there as the battle hottens up. Of course, there was a lockup into turn 3 now, onto turn 2 first for Arnold Lambert. But he still seems to maintain the gap between himself and Gunther Appelgren. Now they're going to start growing horns as they go through that double apex right-hander at Saddle sweep and onto that back straight for the penultimate time, as Frankie has been saying. So the supercars will have their last lap very shortly as they come now.
The leading supercars are heading into turn 3, into Interceptor corner. All 3 of them in the same frame. You should pick them up as they work their way out of Interceptor. It is Phillips from Moffat, from Halleck. Into turn 4 they go now. Through turn 4. That is the 3 cars you see on screen there. That's working their way through Saddle sweep. That double right-hander. Look at that body roll of those cars as they work their way down the back main. They've got a lap and a bit to go. They've got a couple of fine cars that they are picking up into a Fostron corner, and Phillips, Moffat and Halleck will be in between them shortly as they work their way out of Fostron, and they will then be starting their final lap.
Well, coming into turn 1 now, going past a few back markers, a few late additions here. Chris British champion in the MGA. There's the MGB out there as well. I think that could be the Ryan Cat car. But what happens is now onto the short Joubert straight now towards turn 2. We will run. It's now or never for Gunther Appelgrein. Can he come now towards the back there? A little bit tighter line through Castrol corner. It's going to be this last bit of the lap that's going to be all down to it, Frankie. But we watch those supercars coming around to complete that final lap.
The leading supercars are making their way into turn 2. Into Castrol corner they go. This is the last lap. 126.815 by Moffat is the quickest man out there. And he is going to pick up Robbie Toscano through the kink. He picks up the MX-5. Toscano moves out the way and allows him through into Interceptor. They go with Andrew Moffat in second. Carl Halleck in that third position. Up the Tigerberg straight they move now towards a turn 4. Through Saddle Sweep they go. They've got that fine car of Robbie Toscano in between them as they work their way down the back straight. Now this is interesting. There are 3 fine cars heading into turn 5, into Fostron, and right behind them is first, second and third for the supercars as they race down towards turn number 5. But across the line comes a leading fight, Byron, for the fine cars, but we'll pick them up shortly as the supercars are heading towards the checkered flag, and it's going to be Glenn Phillips that comes home in P1. Andrew Moffat will finish in second. Third across the line will be Kyle Halleck.
I just lost count of laps there earlier on, Frankie. Onto the Joubert straight now towards turn 2, Castrol corner. Now it's the now or never lap for Appelgrein. He'll come up alongside the Arnold Lambert Jetta. Will go wide, a much tighter line through there from Arnold Lambert. They'll go through the kink now towards turn 2, turn 3, Interceptor corner. There is a bit of a gap between them still over there. It looks like maybe through the turns over here that Gunther Appelgrein will start reeling in the Jetta ahead of him. He'll be using every little bit of power out of that straight 6 BMW to try and get himself past that Jetta. Now they're going to go into Saddle Sweep. Now look how beautifully it looks over there. Hope the photographers are getting some good pics there. Down the straight we will go. I personally believe that number 61 Jetta might have the handle on the BMW ahead of him, but anything can happen towards turn 5. Pertamina Fastron on the brakes. You can see the brake lights glowing over there into turn 5. With the banking is quite steep there. It's steeper than you realize when you're actually standing there. And now towards the line we'll then run out to Pertamina Fastron onto the main straight. This is the last gasp attempt for Gunther Appelgrein. I don't think he's close enough. They'll go underneath the City of Cape Town and Castrol Bridge with Wingfield Motors as well. He flashes the lights to Arnold Lambert and takes victory ahead there of Gunther Appelgrein. Alexander in the Morgan +8 will come down in third position. Very classic motor car that. In British Racing Green, number 44. And then he'll be the last on the lead lap as far as things are concerned. Robert Toscano will get 4th position. Natasha Tischendorf will get 5th position. And I saw Di Dugmore in the MGB join the British Racing Green MGB, and Roger Lewis in that bright red MGA.
Yeah, and on the final lap, Kyle Halleck also posted the quickest time there with a 126.730 by Kyle Halleck in car 31, and he finished 3rd. Then Yassine Darmon finished 4th in the supercars, followed there by Alistair Brown, Stefan Norkier, and Bradley Fenner finished there in that supercar category. But yeah, the quickest man on the last lap, 126.730, was Kyle Halleck.
Well, Frankie, we came in here very